What up, your favorite Canadians back? Actually, I think the last time I said that, you guys commented like 3 or 4 more other Canadians that were cooler than me, and then I got disappointed. I won't say that. Welcome back to the channel. The one thing that I haven't done that seems so clear to me now that I should have done it a long time ago, and I can't believe that I still haven't done it, is a compression test. I have no idea why I haven't done it, but we didn't. So we should start with that. Disconnect the coil. Now, nothing is pre-planned, all real time. No! That's not good, guys. I think that's really bad, actually. Oh, man. It would explain why there's so much crankcase pressure and why there's so much blow-by coming out of this hose right here. I'm gonna look up to see what a normal Raptor compression number is, but I don't think that is it. So after our shitty numbers on our compression, I did do some research. There is a decompression valve in this thing, so 80 PSI is about the lowest it wants to be just to start. It should be around the 130 mark though. So what I end up doing is taking the hood back off, checking the valves to see if the valves are still good, see if our valve lash is still good throughout all 5 valves. And then if it's still bad, what I'll do is I'll put some oil down and see if we can seat that ring a little bit and get a higher compression number. And if so, we might need to change the rings out in this thing. Do like a top end rebuild. You'll notice in my face, a little bit busted up. I mean, I kind of look better now. I look like I just got punched and I'm a badass. I was working on something over here, and I'm not going to tell you what it is unless you're one of my Patreon subscribers, because I told them already. I'm not ready to reveal what I'm building over there. And it's one of those things where I was like, dang, the mower, it's got me down and out. I might as well build something that I know is going to work. And that's why I started that thing over there. But I'll reenact how I got busted up starting right now. I was over here notching some tubes like a normal guy would. And for some reason, my drill likes to slip from this drill mode into like the clutch mode right here all the time. And I was drilling through the tube and it slipped to the clutch mode, and then it just goes and stops. Like it just slips. And subsequently, the bit was actually stuck in the piece of pipe that I was doing. So when I switched it back into drill mode and clicked the thing on torque mode, it went whoop, bammo, and hit me square in the face like a punch from Goku. I was seeing stars and stuff, but I'm tough. And I stood my ground, and then Goku kicked my ass and I had to go inside because my nose was bleeding for like an hour and a half. I didn't actually go inside, but that's what I wanted to do because it hurt real bad. Anyways, pull this back apart real quick. Nothing's actually bolted up. We'll start with our intake valves on this side. So to check valve lash, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your feeler gauges and you're gonna put them between these ones are on there solid right now. We might have to bump the key just to... There is no lash in these right now. Okay, we might have to reset the lash. We're gonna have to reset these because you actually want a little bit of space between your valve and your rocker. And that just allows for heat expansion, so when it heats up, it actually narrows that gap and allows the valve to come all the way back up. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm stupid most days. But we have 0 right now, so we're gonna have to readjust these. It should be something as small as that. All right, you can hear that now, right? Because before we didn't have any play, and now we have... Perfect. Now we'll do the exhaust side, which are underneath these 2 little caps. And the exhaust valve spec is around 8 thousandths, which is 2 to 3 thousandths more than the intake valve spec, which makes sense because there's more heat in the exhaust valve, which means more thermal expansion. Alrighty, let's try this again now. We're gonna do this live, on film, no cuts, no anything. And this is real time, real reactions. If I cry, it's because it's bad. I think our battery's dead. Look at that. That's 125 now. Even though we didn't get a couple cycles in, 125 is better than 80. Goes to show you should probably set your valves right, huh? Stupid ass. Frickin' sick and wick booster pack is hooked up, and then we'll decompress our thingamajiggy, and then we'll do it live again. One more time for the peeps with a good battery. Here you go. Oh, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. I'm gonna reassemble this. I'm gonna go get my laptop and we're gonna try and fire this thing up again with almost double the compressions. Might help. Okay, I basically had to start our tune over again because the fueling was all wrong because I kept playing with it because it wouldn't start. I loaded that in. Let's see if it works any better. Why? Maybe our timing is too much. Well, once again, I obviously have no idea what I'm doing. So let's pull this radiator off this piece. See where we can fit that. So I've been trying to sort through this in my head for a little while now, this radiator setup, and this radiator just isn't gonna fit anywhere good in this rig. Like there's no space underneath the tunnel because the fuel pump's on one side, the chain's on the other, and then the steering and the distance between, it just doesn't work. So I thought about this, and it's not new to me. I watched the boys like Reinhardt Plumbing Clo do this. Using the frame rails to run the coolant all the way back and then up to the radiator and then down. I feel like that looks like it just doesn't belong. But I have this trans cooler here, and I feel like that might belong. Just put it in the back like that for now. We can always come back to it. But I feel like the extra volume from going from like here down to the frame and then all the way back and then through that trans cooler and then all the way back through here and then back up to here somewhere. I feel like that's gonna give us enough volume for what we're doing. That radiator right there was designed for the 660 Raptor to run wide open throttle all the time without overheating. We're not gonna be doing that. We might run wide open throttle maybe 10 seconds or something, and then it's gonna be back to idle. Most of the time it's just gonna be idling around, putting around the pit area anyways. So I feel like that might be our best bet. Despite my better judgment, we're gonna bust a tubing bender out because I'm gonna try and bend something up that is dual purpose that I can make a backrest on and I can mount the radiator to. And I'm not good at bending things, so this should be interesting. But how are you gonna get better if you don't do it? Man, this one bend took 20 minutes just because this air compressor is so small. And then when this gets like all the way out to the end of its reach, the air compressor doesn't work very good. It's like 20, 30 PSI and it's like, it's struggling. So one more bend and then hopefully we got it correct-ish. This one's actually like 80 something degrees because I didn't put the dial indicator on it. Just making mistakes, man, all kinds of mistakes. On bend number 2, I actually added our little degree finder thing. So it's at 0, it's tight. Start bending this one up and it should replicate that one except just like, you know, a lot longer because I didn't cut it. All right, here's our piece. This is roughly what we're gonna do here. We're gonna mount it something like that. It needs to be squeezed in just a touch. And then it gives us like 4 inches more that we can put a pad right here, a custom pad to give it a lot more back support, so it'll be at least halfway up your back. And then we can mount the radiator to the back side of this thing. Whatever radiator we choose. I gotta try and not hit myself in the face again with the drill, but you know, just in case I do, I should probably film this, right? See, that's what happens. There we go. Our cute little bar is in place. It took a lot longer than I wanted it to, mainly because our tubing bender takes forever to bend tubes. We'll mount the radiator on here now. I still haven't picked which one I want to mount. We'll put them both up, mock it. We'll put the wheelie bars back on, put both radiators on there, see what one looks better, and then I'll decide without asking your opinion. Because I gotta make this video. Not that I don't care about your opinion, it's just, if I could actively ask for your opinion, I would. And then I would actively ask if you would just come help me do it. Please? Okay, here's option one. This one, you have to put the inlet, and you can't put the inlet and outlet like straight up and down because you'll get air bubbles in the top. You need to put it this way, which I mean, it friggin' bolts like right onto this thing, basically. Doesn't fit on there good and it looks ugly. So, option one. Hear me out. This is what I'm thinking. 2 pieces of angle iron, like this, will give us a flat surface to mount to. In theory. Everything's just in theory around here. I make no promises. Oh, my knees. I gotta get up now. Oh, bad noises. Ugh. Alright, that's where our radiator is going to sit. Our brackets didn't end up quite vertical, but I think, I don't know what happened there. I made them up and down with the pipes, but the pipes might be straight up and down. We do have these -10 fittings that we have to weld to here now. So one there, and then one over there. Dang, both -10 fittings in the bottom. We just need a 90 up into these 2 lines. I have -10 for these as well. And then we have a radiator setup. Like I said, this thing's going to be running, idling through the pit area and stuff. So if we have to, we'll put a small fan on the back there. But even if I put in the back now where the wheelie bars were, just a stand, you could like use that as a handle too. Smart. Now, like I said, we do have to go from the front to the back as well. And we have to add a reservoir somewhere as well, which should be at the highest point, which means it should be right off that 90 over there. It should be right here, to be honest. Like a fill point should be right here. So maybe we'll do something like that where we, I put a T in it, and then we can just put a fitting in the top. Anyways, I spent a lot more time than I like to admit trying to get this thing to run on my own. Very unsuccessfully, apparently. That's why this episode might be a little bit shorter than the last one. But I have big news coming up. This week I have a trip planned to go south to go see the car that I'm going on sick week with. Yep, yeah boy, going to Florida, going to the Freedom Factory, racing sick week. I won't be actually racing, I'm gonna be passengering, but it's the next best thing. Yeah, and you know, maybe 2023 means we take our car down to sick week. So that's coming out. I'm gonna go see the car. I'm gonna introduce you to the guy who's driving it, and you guys already met him before on my channel, but a refresher for people who are new here. So yeah, the radiator and a bit more welding underneath is the last thing I need to do to get this thing ready to the dyno, because I'm just not gonna deal with it. But we can't take it to the dyno until I get my gaskets, which are coming on the 24th. So if I do start something else, it's not because I'm trying to put this off, it's because I'm just waiting on parts again in Canada. Every subscriber matters, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. Remember, you can get all your merch, boostedlifestyle.com, or you can visit Black Sheep Industries Inc. You can see our turbo lineup, our wastegate lineup, our blow-off valve lineup, all that fun stuff. Peace easy, get Devi.